Are you a father? No. You're not a father. You don't understand, my nigga. Third time. This is the third time like this has been taken from me.
It was a domestic disturbance report.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was Paterson, New Jersey police officer Spencer Finch.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Put your fucking hands on your Let's see, give me a fucking chance. Chill out. We can solve the problem. That's it. That's some bitch ass shit, my nigga. That's some bitch ass shit. You saw me punching in my shit. I gotta be so punching in my shit, dog.
With the man in handcuffs, Finch did this.
Look me in my eye, though, nigga.
Oh.
Spencer Finch has now been suspended without pay and charged with 4 felonies: assault, possession of a weapon for an unlawful purpose, misconduct, and filing a false police report. Hello, everybody. I'm David Schuster, and thanks for joining us. This incident happened on May the 26th. In his report that night, Officer Finch wrote he told the man he was under arrest and that the man refused to put his hands up. The body camera video from another officer contradicts Finch.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
Officer Finch also said the man tried to headbutt him, prompting the knee to the face. The video shows there was also a lie. There was no physical provocation.
Look me in my eye, though, nigga.
According to the arrest documentation of Officer Finch, quote, Officer Finch said he did not activate his body camera due to the severity and fear that imminent harm and bodily injury would occur. Or he deliberately kept the camera off. It's not a stretch to imagine he thought he would get away with all of this. But then, investigators in Paterson, New Jersey discovered the other officer's body camera was on the entire time. The body camera footage is the key evidence against Officer Finch, and the footage was just released to the media by Paterson, New Jersey's mayor. He said he wanted to make the video public, quote, to increase trust, accountability, and transparency between the Paterson Police Department and the community it serves. That is the right approach from city officials. The mayor and the prosecutor should be applauded for the release and for the charges against Officer Finch. However, there's still a lot of unanswered questions about why Officer Finch was on the job to begin with. During the past 13 years, records show that Finch has been the target of 4 federal lawsuits accusing him of excessive force. In one of those cases, when Finch and other officers beat 2 handcuffed shooting suspects who were already prone on the ground, Paterson, New Jersey had to pay a settlement of $610,000. And yet, Finch and the other officers continued on the job. It underscores a crucial issue in all of this. Yes, it's nice when officers are held accountable thanks to body camera footage, but charging individual officers is not enough. It is past time to create a national database of dirty cops, so those officers can never get hired in law enforcement or security ever again. Too often, officers who get suspended or fired are hired by other police departments in another city. That needs to change. We cannot continue to have cops circulating in our society who are prone to violence and have a dangerous chip on their shoulder. Kudos to Paterson, New Jersey for taking a step to increase trust, but there is a lot more in that city and others that needs to be done.
A high school kid called Justin.
I watched it yesterday. I still watched it, and it's still very it's very shocking. It's very shocking to see how an officer can do that to you. I think you could get away with it because you're black, He doesn't have a body camera on because he could be protected by the boys in blue. And I had also personally dealt with a traumatic experience dealing with cops that I don't talk about. And it's messed up, man. That's all I can say. Body camera video shows alleged assault that led to Paterson's cops' arrest. City officials released a police body camera video Wednesday evening that shows a Paterson cop hit a man in the face in what appears to be an unprovoked attack and later knee him in the face while the man was handcuffed and sitting down. Authorities said the recording captures on the May 26 events that resulted in veteran Paterson police officer Spencer Finch being arrested on June 11th and charged with 4 crimes, including official misconduct, assault, and trying to cover up his alleged wrongdoing by filing a false police report. Like I said, he thought he could get away with this because he's white and he's part of the blue gang. You know, I shout out to all the cops that actually do their job and actually would grab their fellow cop and try to prevent him from committing a homicide. Okay. I don't know if you remember that black Buffalo cop, female. She tried to jump on her white counterpart who tried to choke a black suspect to death, and she was fired, and the white cop that she prevented from choking a black suspect to death got promoted, but eventually she won out and got her benefits back. The Passaic County prosecutor's office cited the body camera video as evidence in filing the charges against Finch, a 44-year-old Mahwah resident who has been a member of the Paterson Police Department since 2003. So he had a good amount of years probably abusing his power. The first 2 minutes of the video, recorded by an officer whose name had not been made public, show the man later was attacked talking on his cell phone, appearing upset in what seems to be in a domestic dispute. The officer whose body camera is filming stands back from the man without intervening. He needs to be fired too. If he had a brain, he would have definitely tried to jump in there to save his job and protect the black suspect and protect his job. But we all know, like, again, they're in the same gang. You know, when I think about this, I think about Candace Owens. I wonder what she would say about this. I really do. I wonder what she would say. I wonder. But, you know, she's a grifter. I wonder what Brandon Tatum would say, because he's also a grifter. But 2 minutes and 22 seconds into the video, a cop who officials say is Finch can be seen moving past the officer whose camera is recording and strike the man in the head. The chaotic self-inflicted shooting. Eventually, the man was sitting on the hallway floor with his hands behind his back and his wrists bound by handcuffs. "Look me in the eye," the man said to Finch as the cop stood over him. The video showed Finch then handcuffed him in the face area with his knee. Handcuffed the man in the face area with his knee? What? Who? Proofreading and grammar. So I hate to say it, sometimes reading these articles, you have to be a grammar Nazi. You really do. Paterson will expand police body camera program, but the timetable is unclear. Finch spent 5 nights in jail following his arrest before a judge on June 16th approved his release pending trial. What? "We maintain that the actions of Officer Finch were appropriate under the circumstances," said his lawyer, Anthony J. Aculo. You make it so hard for the black community to actually trust police officers. You make it so hard. Anthony J. Aculo, who asked about the release of the video, "We are confident that when this matter is fully accessed in a court of law, it will be shown that to be appropriate under the circumstance that existed at that time. All you had to do is talk that man down. You don't have to be a father. You could just talk that man down, but you saw him as a perp. That's all you saw him as. And yet you were bigger than him, and you could go and try to put your hands on him. That's it. That is it. That is sickening. This situation did not have to rise to this level of violence at all. Mayor Andre Sevilla released the video along with the statement he sent to the media. The mayor said he was making the video public to increase trust, accountability, and transparency between the Paterson Police Department and the community it serves. Saeed indicated that it was the city that alerted the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office to the video, but the mayor did not make it clear how city officials came to be aware of the body camera video showing the apparent assault by Finch. The police department is supposed to conduct spot checks of its officers' body camera footage at least once every 30 days under the state attorney general's guidelines. It shouldn't be once every 30 days. It should be right after their shift is done. That's it. You do it right after they're done. The minute they get to the locker room, turn in your body cameras. Turn them in. Sayed did not say if the city happened upon the video during its spot checks or if the man who was struck by Finch filed a complaint with the Internal Affairs Division. After reviewing the BWC body-worn camera footage involving Spencer Finch for the date of the incident, the administration immediately referred the matter to the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office, which then commenced an investigation that resulted in charges against Spencer Finch. He said it was not clear if the mayor alerted the prosecutor's office that he planned to release the video, or if Passaic County Prosecutor Camilo Valdez supported the decision. Neither Valdez nor Saeed could be reached for comment beyond the statement the mayor issued. Finch currently is suspended without pay, but Paterson's contracts with its police unions require the city to resume paying cops accused of crimes after 30 days and to place them on restricted duty or administrative leave. The police department is also conducting an internal review of the matter in an effort to ascertain whether any other officer violated any procedures or guidelines and how the police department can learn from this incident. He said, it's like you see these cops as like overgrown kids with badges and guns, and you just want to give them a little slap on the wrist. Okay, guys, we have to be together now, and we have to talk about police brutality. Okay, you can't be doing that, Mr. Finch. Bad, Mr. Finch. You can't be assaulting people, Mr. Finch, especially if they're minorities. You can't do that, Mr. Finch. Oh. I wonder what Tucker Carlson would say. I wonder what he would say. Okay, we already know he has, probably tears for Ashley Babbitt. I tell you, man, it's just, any trolls come in my comment section, you're getting deleted. That's it, and blocked. Funding from the state aid program hits low level since 2012. What does that mean? During the past 13 years, Finch has been a target of 4 federal lawsuits accusing him of using excessive force against citizens. What does that matter? You guys kept him on the force because it was just a good old gang. That's it. Good old boys. In one of those cameras, which happened in 2011, video recording taken by home security cameras showed a group of about a dozen Paterson cops kick and beat 2 handcuffed suspects who were prone on the pavement. Paterson approved a $610,000 settlement in that lawsuit. 2 of the cases, which involved incidents in 2008 and 2011, were dismissed in the federal courts. The 4th lawsuit is still pending. Finch was the 3rd city cop since April charged with using excessive force against members of the public. At the end of April, the FBI arrested 2 officers, Kevin Patino and Kendry Tieno Restillo, accusing them of assaulting a 19-year-old man last December and filing a bogus report to cover up their alleged wrongdoing. They've been doing this for a while. Wow. The only thing they haven't stepped it up a notch like the bandinos, or the executioners, or the jump out boys, and just say, oh, he had a gun, which is really a ghost gun. There really is no gun. They just say that, oh, there was a gun. I'm surprised they didn't go to that route. I'm telling you, man. This is why I look at these jokers on the right and be like, oh, there's no white supremacy. There's no racism. Right. As I said, man, there's white supremacy in the military. There's white supremacy in the police department. I just told you about the LA Sheriff Deputy Department. Look them up. Bandinos, jump out boys, and the executioners. 3 of them. At the time that the charges against Patina and Tina Residio were announced, the New Jersey Attorney General's office directed Paterson County Prosecutor Camila Valdez to oversee the Paterson's Internal Affairs Unit investigations into all misconduct by city cops. The charge filed Friday against Finch represents the first public action taken by the prosecutor's office since then. Federal criminal charges also pending against Paterson Police Sergeant Michael Sheff, one of the 8 city cops arrested by the FBI. And 29, Sheff is the only one of the 8 who has not pleaded guilty. The others admitted various crimes, including committing shakedowns, selling drugs, and beating a hospital patient. Unreal. But you see, he's been doing this, he's been on the force since what? How long has he been on the force for? It's 2003, so it's 2021 now. That's a long time of just doing pure evil. And he thinks it's okay. It's perfectly okay. They don't need to be working as cops anymore. They don't. Not even a greeter. Not even a greeter at a cell phone store. I don't know. All right. Tell me what you think of the story. Also, I'd like to say that men, we have to be extremely careful about who we sleep with, who we want to be the mothers of our children. Okay, this man, the black man that got beat up, third time his girlfriend, his baby mother, took his kids from him. All right, we have to be extremely careful who we sleep with. Right, I'm just be very honest right now. I don't think it's really safe to have premarital sex in this type of era. It's not. Too many crazy people out here, and a lot of men out here. We have to be careful who you decide to be your kid's mother. That man could have died at the hands of Finch. That man could have died. And the baby mother would be like, nothing's gonna happen to her. She's just gonna be crying at your funeral. Because we all know in this society, I'm not saying all women, but you have women out there that once the relationship ends, they feel the child is their property and they don't need a father in their life. And if you get them upset, if you don't follow their beck and call, they could just go get the cops like bodyguards or enforcers to make you comply to their demands, no matter how ridiculous it is. All right, guys, on to the next story. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm on Spotify, Anchor.fm. I'm on Instagram. Okay, Red Pill Undefeated. Later.